Good morning, everybody. We are here at PetSmart with Mousse this morning. Mousse and I are going to be going out as much as possible this week so that we can work in high distraction settings, making sure that he knows how to be calm and stay in a nice structured heel with me so that he can focus and work with me rather than focusing on distractions and getting overwhelmed and doing his little cries and everything. He's been doing fantastic as far as crying goes when he is out in public, especially. Really easy. Oh boy, the impulse control. Really, the biggest time that he does any whining would be when he's at home and he's really just trying to get attention from me. That's really about it, though. He hasn't been getting any, overwhelmed when we're out in public. Yep. And he's doing fantastic with his loose leash healing. He's really picked up on the slip lead very quickly. He really understands the communication line between us now, and that makes it really easy. So yep. So even right there, like he wanted to sniff that, but we're not going to let him lose focus on me now. I'm going to do something that's more entertaining for him. I'm going to make sure that he's looking at me. Mousse, come. Good boy. Sit. Yes, come. Good boy. Sit. Good. Wait. Easy. 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 Good boy. Right, so we gave him something else to think about rather than the distraction, right? So what we're going to do now is we're just going to kind of walk around the parking lot for a few minutes. I'm going to be doing lots of turns and pace changes and stops and recalls and placing him on things so that I can get him to really focus on me. So notice right now he's starting to look around a lot, right? He's really feeling like he's going back into that I have to take control of the situation, which he starts to get really uncomfortable with, having to take control of everything. That's just not his natural where he feels comfortable. It's overwhelming for him. So we have to be the one that is the leader for him and give him someone to follow rather than us just saying, here, take the lead and I'm going to tell you when I don't like how you're leading, right? So there's a big difference in you being a leader and you telling him his leading skills aren't good. Okay. So just by saying okay and telling him when I'm going to start moving again, those things are crucial. Most people think that that's just kind of silly and it doesn't really matter if I start moving, you start moving, but that's not the case. You want to make sure that he understands that when pressure turns on, we go into a calmer state until he's released. If he gets up before this, then he is going back into taking control of the situation. I'll get up when I feel like it. I'll do what I want when I want. We can't have him doing that. So we're going to, okay, heel. That's letting him know, okay, it's now okay to get up and you can now start following me. Right there, good boy. Right there when he started to go in front of me is when I turned direction. Good job. And you can see he's paying attention because he's not even getting, come on, Mousse. Even right there, I'm not going to pull him because he saw people behind him. I'm just going to say his name and get him to focus on me, the handler, not the leash. The leash isn't the most important part of this. Your handling skills are the most important part of this. So having this nice loose slip lead so that you can communicate, hey, pay attention, right? Pay attention. So we went to go sniff the car and I told him, no, we're not doing that right now, just by giving him a little pop. These direction changes are really great because it helps you, yep. So even right there, he's getting too much. Then I'm going to put him into a red light, calm him down, get him to refocus on me. He got up before I said the 2 letters. So he goes back into that calm state until he's released. If he tries to jump up, now you can pretty much easily tell with him, he's very clear with his body movements that he's about to get up. So the more you focus on him and you learn what his tics are and what sets him off and what's going to make him try and get out of that, you're going to get quicker with your handling skills and telling him, I don't want you to get up from that position and stopping behavior before it starts. Okay. All right, so we said okay, and we just slowly start moving again. No pressure on the leash until I need to communicate something, which is either going to be pay attention, complete stop, or we move ahead when it's loosey-goosey like this. Just resting on your fingers, he's following where you go. If he is not following where you go like that, he is not in a proper heel. Healing is playing a game of follow the leader. If he is not following the leader, he is not heeling. Good boy. So the whole goal, this is major. If you can get your dog to respect you and walk with you nicely on a heel and wait at the door, those are all really big signs of respect for you from him, showing you that he respects what you're asking of him and that he can have impulse control and work on those things. Impulse control, like I said, is his biggest thing. Snapping at the treats, barking at things, or jumping on things, jumping on the counter. Those are all impulse control issues. That is just him quickly going into what he immediately thinks about in his head. I want to do this. So it's up to us to show him a different way of doing things. Look to me for guidance, and your leash is your lifeline in this. If you don't have a leash on your dog in the house, especially when they first come home from training, you basically just sent them to training. And this is especially if you're not doing an e-collar program. An e-collar program gives me a way to give you off-leash reliability when your dog comes home by using a button and a collar rather than using a leash as your communication device. And it's the same idea. It's a quick pressure and release just to get your dog's attention. An e-collar would be used the same way that a pop is used on the leash. Basically the exact same way. So when he first comes home, if you just have him running around the house off leash, or you go and you put him back onto a harness or just a flat buckle collar, he's not going to be speaking the same language anymore. So it's basically like you sent him away to learn French, and then you come back and you keep speaking English to him. He's not going to speak French back to you if you're not going to speak French to him, right? So it's really important that you start using this new language and using this new way of communicating with him. Mousse, good boy. To really build this structured relationship and really grow a good, solid rapport with each other. Practice makes perfect. But this is beautiful. This is a great heel. We've been walking around the front of PetSmart. We're going to walk up to the front now that we've been outside for a few minutes, getting a nice structured heel together, making sure I got his attention easily. I have some treats with me in my pocket. As you've seen, I don't use them all the time. I use them in high distractions. So if I gave him a bunch in the parking lot right now, when we go inside, it's going to lose its value a little bit. So I've been trying to save those. I gave him one or two so that he knows I have a really good treat with me, but I'm not overusing them. Okay, so right off the bat, he's getting excited that we're getting closer to the doors. So he's not going to calm down unless you ask him to calm down. And again, this is how we ask him. We don't use English. We don't say, Mousse, calm down, right? We use our leash and tell him, relax. Good, you've relaxed, right? Now he's a little bit more calm. He's, focusing a little bit easier. Now, he tried to get up, so I applied pressure. He went right back into that sit. That was perfect. Now, when I start taking off, because he's really excited, so he hears the doors open and stuff, and that kind of spooked him, what we're going to do, Mousse, good boy. Okay, so I'm going to use some spatial pressure, and then this is when I can use, right? So there's where my treats came in handy. So use your treats when you need them, when you know you really have to get your dog's attention. Don't reward him looking away and you needing to use that treat all the time to get his attention. Give it to him for doing something. Come, sit, come, sit, easy, easy, good boy. Right? So now, yes, I got his attention by saying, hey, look, I have a treat, but I didn't just give him the treat and just give into his behaviors. I made him do something. I showed him, hey, look, I have a really good treat, and if you listen to me and do a couple little things, you get a treat. Right? So that's the kind of thinking that you want to do. How can I get my dog to focus and stay focused on me? So he sees another dog there. The doors are opening. Okay. So right off the bat, we're going to go slow, right? We're going to walk up to the door slow. If he can't do this, then he's not going to, see, he's already trying to get ahead of me. So I'm going to slow down. I'm not pulling him. He's not pulling me. You have to learn to have a loose leash with this, right? So right there, pressure turned on. I just stopped moving. Back to 2 fingers worth of pressure. get him to pay attention. The amount of force doesn't change. Good boy. And the door is just open. I'm also going to adjust his leash so that it's up high. Higher the better. That is where their pressure points are. We don't want to be putting pressure on their trachea. That doesn't help anything. That just chokes them. You want to put very light pressure on the pressure points in their skull, framing their head. Okay. That's the easy doors. So I'm just going to, so right there he tried to pull. So I did what I call the lawnmower, where I pull and release. Right? But he's nervous of these doors, so I'm not just going to force him through it. This is a learning experience. We have a loose leash. We have no pressure, and I'm letting him kind of explore. Good boy, Mousse. Good job. Yeah, good boy. You know, that's the first cries that we've heard. Mousse, sit. Sit. Good boy. Right, so calm him down here. These doors are killing him. Okay, I'm gonna go in here and calm him down a little. These doors are tricky. It's just spooking him every time they open and close. So, what we're gonna do is Mousse. Right, so there's where my treats come in handy. He wasn't paying attention. He's overwhelmed. That's where all your crying is gonna start happening. Mousse. When he's overwhelmed by the situation and taking control, he's got nothing else to think about but the distractions. See, look, now I have a hot dog. Mousse, go boy, sit. So I'm gonna stop this video here because this is our first time in PetSmart together, and I really need to focus on him rather than the video and talking. I need to focus on him. So we're gonna cut this video short, but he's doing great. This is exactly where he should be in his program, and we're gonna go do some learning now. So hopefully that helps, and we will see you guys soon. Guys, we are back with Mousse. We took a walk over to Home Depot now. We were just at PetSmart, and he did a great job. He was definitely a little overwhelmed when we first walked in. He definitely wanted to go back to his old, pulling everywhere and whining at things, but with me just taking control and just calming him down and showing him that there's really no reason to be worked up about anything, he did fantastic. I also added the transitional to him, which we have been practicing at the house to condition him to wearing it on his nose. We haven't done as much of it, but this is a really great method when you have a dog that's highly distracted, because it allows you to apply the pressure to not just to the pressure points in his skull, but also the ones in his muzzle. So he applies the pressure to himself. If you're using the tool correctly, you really don't need to be using any pressure with this. It's the same way you would use it as you have a normal slip lead. It's just applying the pressure points elsewhere as well, not elsewhere. But it's applying it to two places now. So it really just drives it home a little bit faster, and you wind up needing to use less pressure because they feel it a lot quicker. But this is in no way uncomfortable or does it hurt him in any way, especially if you are just holding it like this. It shouldn't feel any different than it resting on my fingers like this than it should resting on his nose like that. So no need to feel like this is hurting him or upsetting him in any way. The only time it's going to do that is if you apply pressure. So see how it's straight right now? It is not a lot of pressure, but that is pressure. So watch the difference in him. I'm going to show you if I do this and I start using too much force, right? Doesn't this look much different? And he's going to start trying to paw at it because we're applying pressure here, and that's unnecessary pressure. So really learning to just let this rest and be as loose as possible is really key to your success. So like right there, I turned and he didn't notice. So instead of keeping walking and pulling him, I stopped moving and I, come on, Mousse, and got him to pay attention. And then I'll keep moving along and he'll follow with me once he's realized, oh, she turned, I gotta focus. If you pull him around turns, so, right, let's say he didn't know, he noticed, of course. He's just a good boy. But if he hadn't noticed there, if I had turned and just pulled him around that turn, that would be like the difference of me telling him pressure means stop and pressure means go. So that's not fair to him. We're teaching him two different things. So again, learning your how to use your leash properly is very important. And that's why I make so many of these videos, is because I personally feel like this is the number one tool that I send home with every single dog. And if you can't get a good handle on using your slip lead, you're going to feel like you're not seeing much change in your dog. And that's really going to stem from the fact that they were allowed to do things a certain way when they were home, and they got used to it in that environment. And then they came to me, and right from the get-go, I showed them a different way of doing things. So it's also up to you to change your behaviors once your dog comes home, and make sure that you're really reinforcing all of this stuff with them. Good boy. That you're really reinforcing all of this stuff with them, and practicing with them so that they stay sharp, and really so that your handling skills become fine-tuned, because this is definitely not something you are going to feel like you are an expert at the day that they come home. You're going to feel overwhelmed, and you're going to feel like, I can't do this, and you don't have a good handle on things. But I promise you, if you watch these videos and you really just kind of watch Moose's body language, and you start reinforcing these things with Olive, you're going to see a change in the way that you behave with them, and you manage them and give them structure in their life. Because dogs thrive on structure and routine. They do not like the unknown. They do not like not knowing what's to come next. Some dogs, like Mousse, do not like to feel like they are in control. It is overwhelming for them. Okay. Right, but he's doing great, even with carts, and he's doing much better here than he even was at PetSmart. Again, at PetSmart, he was just overwhelmed in the beginning, and that was really because of the automatic doors. Those freaked him out, and then he went into this kind of panic state for a minute, where he was just kind of like, what the hell is going on with those automatic doors? I think it was just because it was double doors. You have to go through 2 double doors. So that kind of like spooked him. It was in front of him and behind him, making noises. He didn't know what the heck was going on. But like I said, once I got him in there and I took him off to the side where it was a little bit calmer, and I used a treat, and I got him to relax, and then we started moving forward slowly, and he did much, much better. And transitional helped with that a lot. But as you can see, not a single little peep out of him. He's not whining or any of that, because he doesn't feel overwhelmed. He doesn't feel like he's got to take control of all of this, and he's got to be on alert all the time. It's just too much for him. But this is beautiful. You can see how well that structure is already helping him. He wasn't comfortable before doing it the way he was doing it. So just remember, you are helping him drastically. You can see a difference in his general well-being right now. He doesn't seem stressed or overwhelmed or anything. He's doing fantastic. We're passing people and carts, and she's getting compliments on how well-behaved he is, which is awesome. This is everything we want to see. And these are just nice and loose. We love it. Love it, Mousse. You look great, buddy. It's great. I'm trying to get close enough to people. One of these kind of spooked him a little bit at PetSmart also. Fortunately, the guy kept beeping at us. Just everyone in general, not us. But he was just beeping a lot, and that was another thing. So those are all unpredictable things that I'm not going to be able to control when I go out into public. So that's why I always recommend you wait until you're ready to handle a situation and bring your dog. Again, most of my dogs I start bringing out into public around 2 to 3 weeks. Mousse I started taking out almost right away, because I really felt like, oh, I got a good handle on him. He's responsive. He understood the tool very quickly, which is awesome. He really didn't need a lot of this reinforcing on the pressure and release aspect. He was really strong with his sit before he came to me anyway, so that's a great thing. This just gives us more time to work on all the more challenging things. So. Oh no, go for it, girl. You're fine. Oh, girl, I know it. Oh. So that's great. Even that poorly. I so understand the feeling of bladder control. But yeah, he's doing great. He's a really good boy. Passing people. I'm really proud of him. All in all, he's doing a great job. So yeah, we're just gonna keep walking around here. Oh, there's another little buddy. Hey, sweetheart. Thanks, even that. Just keep a loose leash. Just gave him a few pops and just kept moving. I kept control. I kept moving. You found it. Good job. Good boy. So yeah, even that was great. He did really good passing the other dog. It's just all about learning to just kind of take control and be a leader for your dog. And they really seem to follow suit when you're a confident handler for him. So all in all, we're super proud of Mousse Moles. Right, Mousse. And so here's some loud noises. Those are the kind of things that spook him. So just be on alert when you take him out into public. Loud noises, again, those can kind of spook him a little bit. Just make sure you keep him in a calm zone. If he gets overwhelmed, you have to put him into a sit position and calm him down. Doesn't matter where you are or what you're doing. That is your safe zone. If you don't know what to do this. If you're like, oh, why isn't he calming down? Do this and get him to calm down. And then use your treats. There's all sorts of beeping and things going on. Lucky loves himself a hot dog. And I'm still making sure he takes it nice and easy. Easy. Okay. And now that he's a little bit calmer, see how reactive he is to the, not reactive, responsive he is to just a tiny little pop. That's all I needed, 2 fingers worth. And he did that himself just by going where he wasn't supposed to go. Look, I don't have to do anything. So if you're using your tool correctly, see, watch, he's going to do it again. I didn't do anything there, right? He felt the pressure, and I've just taught him that pressure means pay attention. So as soon as he does this to himself, watch, see, I didn't do anything, see. So just learning to be confident. It's all about him following you. It's not so much about him following a tool. And yeah, there you have it. Bruce and I are going to keep on walking around for a few more minutes, and then we might go take a hike somewhere, and then I'll go take a nap after. So, hope that's helpful, and we will be back with more Mousse movies. Have a good one.